What's going on? Welcome to the Bread and Hope Show, people. All right, what's happening? It's your boy Bread. Hope will make his way over soon enough. Knew it'll be here soon. Woo. Want to welcome everybody to the Bread and Hope Show. Glad to have everybody here tonight. We got an action-packed show for everybody here tonight. Glad to have everything going. And we will get started momentarily. Enjoy the music. We'll be back in just 1 second. What's going on, people? It's your boy Bread. Welcome to the show. Got a lot going on in the sports world. All right. I think we got. There we go. There we go. Over.
Yo, yo.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Because I going to a quick little break and we are on live. And
Yeah.
I let everybody enjoy the music. And, we got the notes. You got the notes of you got the rundown.
Yeah, I got the rundown, man. I got it.
Yeah, good. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Bread and Hope Show. We're not too late tonight. We got it going. We got it going. Action packed. A lot of stuff going on. We got alligators in making, honeybees, honeybee trouble for FAMU. We got big time Braves news. Normally we don't paying no attention to baseball this time of year. We're not in the postseason, but we got some Braves news to everybody and a whole lot of football we gonna talk about. So, Hope, how was the weekend, bro?
Oh man, weekend was good. As you know, we getting it in with this football, man, on the weekend.
Ooh,
A lot going around, man. Some upsets, but yeah. Outside of that, man, it was a good weekend. How was your weekend?
oh man, it was busy. Shout out to the Douglas High, Frederick Douglass High here in Atlanta, Georgia. They had their alumni alumni picnic event this past weekend. Atlanta Old School Drummers was very happy to be a part of that to make it special for them. So that was great. And shout out to Central High School, Macon, Georgia. They did the same. Macon, Georgia, Central High School had their alumni picnic down at Central City Park this past weekend. So shout out to those Central Chargers. Hope
That's what's up.
I got
That's
to
what's
make
up.
one of those. I'm just so busy I can't make it, man. But I got to make one of those events. They did big, and I think in the homecoming for Central is this weekend. So Central hot, man. Central is hot.
Oh,
So
that's what's up.
we got it going on, man. Southwest got to catch up.
Yeah.
Southwest got to catch up. Yes, indeed. So
Yeah.
that's all I've been up to, man, and a whole lot of football, man. A whole lot of football, and we gonna get into that tonight.
Yep.
So we just want to welcome everybody to the Bread and Hope Show. We are here every Wednesday from p.m. to 10 p.m. ish. And we are based here in Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about sports primarily here in the state of Georgia. And but wherever you are from, feel free to be part of the show and speak on it. Hope, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to thank listeners and new listeners for tuning in tonight. And as always, we'll give a quick shout out to the Enhanced Sports Show.
Lou.
Lou, he'll be hopefully he'll be joining us later on.
Yeah, he'll be joining us
And,
at 9:30.
yeah. And give a shout out to the sticking sensation.
Yes, sir. Morris Brown sticking sensation. Morris Brown homecoming is next Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I also want to let all the listeners know rather that they can check out our website www.sportsandbrews.com where you can get real live sports and beer content. And also check out our Facebook group page. If you like what you see, just let us know. We'll take care of you. And yeah, let's go ahead and get on in it, man.
Yes, sir. So look, man, we from MacTown. Everybody know we from MacTown. So I think it made national news. So of all things, an alligator was found in the drive-through of McDonald's parking lot. And you know where, Rocky Creek Road, you know where that is.
Yeah.
Down there in South Macon. So, I guess, we got stuff down there. We got bears and stuff, man. But, but you never, you never run across an alligator. That's a Florida thing, right?
Well,
So
I don't know, man. I lived in Bloomfield, for quite a while, and it was always a rumor about Rocky Creek. It wasn't always the best place to go fishing, if you know what I mean. But
oh yeah.
even though some cats, went ahead and test the waters. So, but no, but you know, like you said, for when I saw the video, I couldn't believe it. But
yeah,
particularly how big the alligator was. That was,
he was big enough. He was big.
That it definitely took a couple of cats to deal with it.
but that's the funny part of this whole story. So normal people just make a phone call just to the police and hopefully they get animal control, and that's what happened. So everybody got phones. And look, this thing's been around. We've been seeing it for the past month or so. I don't know, a couple of weeks, month, or whatever it was recently. So folk been seeing him, and they finally called and said, "Hey, we got him. He ain't going. Y'all need to come get him." They called the police. I'm quite sure the police, like, what we supposed to do with this? We used to, gunshots, not allocator calls.
Right.
And so
right.
they ain't even got animal control is closed. And so in the meantime, folks like, look, we got to go and get this bad boy. So leave it to Macon. We everybody, the good old boys and the homeboys join forces and actually subdued the alligator until animal control or the police or whoever got there with duct tape. Yo, man, look, man, if anybody got cred, man, Macon, Georgia got cred this week.
So, yeah.
So it's like, look, we gonna get it there. Like, look, we ain't waiting on nobody. And that's one thing that's funny about me, and I've always done that, been that way, especially at work. I
Yeah.
like shit, man. I ain't gonna wait, man. I'm gonna get it done, man. If you got to get done, and I think I can get it done, I'm gonna get it done. So
Yeah.
and move on. Let's go. And no
Right.
sense of waiting around. And and animal control finally got there with a pickup truck. So okay, we'll get him. And so I think they got him and let him loose somewhere in the creek somewhere. Well, not Rocky Creek, but they find a they find a lake somewhere. And I guess he
Yeah.
drift off somewhere else, man, into natural waters, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was well, I'm glad it turned out okay the way we can laugh about it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
So
They. Yeah, man. But like I said, man. I mean, the rumor mill has always been, alligators kind of, especially around South Macon, kind of hanging around that creek. But hell, I wouldn't be surprised you catch one in Okmulgee.
Oh my God, I hope not. Oh my God.
I don't know, bro. I don't
I mean,
know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I
I
mean,
would. I wouldn't be. I put it away. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, I grew up on the Upmug. I grew up on the river, and it was basically my backyard. Everything was back there, water moccasins, everything else. Snakes were just part of life. Uh, bears were bad. I never ran up on one, but I knew bears were around there and foxes and all kinds of stuff back there, man. All kinds of wildlife. But yeah, man. But alligators, that's kind of a new one for me. But I heard rumors, but I just,
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard rumors, but I never knew of anybody that ever ran up on one until this week.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Macon. Big ups to Macon, Georgia. McTown in the house. So look, man, shifting gears, man, a sharp turn, man. It's somewhat sports related, but I'm into the band world, man, and FAMU, the world renowned FAMU band. Everybody know about FAMU. So FAMU played Alabama State this past weekend. And so, long story short, the announcer had some things to to say about their band, people in their band. So look, if anybody's ever been to a band, HBCU band competition, there's usually some light banter that goes on between the announcers about each other. That's just part of it. It's been going on forever. It's new. That's not new. And some of it's been kind of whatever. But now, things are different. You got cancel culture, and you got everybody is very sensitive to things now that they were not in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so he made, so the Alabama State band has a part in their show where they have these young ladies called the honeybees that perform.
Mm-hmm.
And they're about 7 or 8 of these girls, young ladies of a certain weight. All of them, got good size to them, but they can move. And so and that's the whole thing about it. That although they are a little larger weight, they can move. They do everything anybody else smaller than them can do. And so that's the whole attraction of it. And they've been doing it for years. It's not new. And so that's just part of what they do. And so FAMU comes on after them, and the announcer, Joe, which is Joe Bullock. I forget Joe's last name, but Joe, he's been their announcer for like 50 years. Okay, he's an old head. He ain't new to this. And so he made a comment, and he's usually very tactful about his comments that are funny, lighthearted, lightbound, and kind of very smart. But this time he said something that said into the fact that those young ladies could be the poster women for Ozempic. I think that's that weight loss program or pill or whatever it is. And so and so when he said that, everybody was kind of taken back. Ooh, whoa, wait a minute, whoa, time out. And so you could hear the crowd just kind of like oohing and ahhing with that. And so look, man, folk didn't like that. So Alabama State shot at FAMU. FAMU said, "Hey, you got us. We sorry." So you had apology letters going back, from FAMU saying that they're gonna hold them accountable and they're gonna do better, and they don't want that to be part of their program. This, that, and so all this stuff is going back and forth. And so, so I think that the presidents and the board and all the who's who, the dignitaries for both schools on the same page that they don't want that to be part of it. You don't want to be demeaning. You want to have light manner, light banter, but you do not want them to be demeaning to folks. These people are still students, and and aspiring to be young professionals very soon, and very smart, regardless of how big or small or what they look like. And now there's a term called body shaming. And so with body shaming, that wasn't even a term when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
And so body shaming was actually part of TV. You think about stuff like What's Happening, with Rerun and Shirley, and the body shaming was just like, well, no, not really, because Rerun could dance. He could do more than I could.
Yeah.
And Shirley had a real quick tongue, quicker than I was, and so she was a very successful comedian. And so, but you fast forward to today, that's what's going on. It made People Magazine, TMZ, stuff in the band world never makes it to that kind of height. And so when it does, it's a pretty big deal. So
Yeah.
I think that with that being said, man, just shout out to the Honeybees, man. I've seen them perform many, many years. And Alabama State is a very good program, good drum section, good band over there in Montgomery, Alabama. I got buddies who went to school there, finished school at Alabama State, frat over there and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So very excellent program. FAMU has an excellent program, but everybody make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what the repercussion of this is going to be. My understanding is what I heard is that they was going to hit FAMU band program with a fine. And I think that what I read was that Joe, the announcer for FAMU, is going to be suspended for a couple of games. That's just what I don't know how true that. I read that today from the SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference, but I don't know. Still trying to confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to bring that up, Hobie. Things be going on in the band world, brother. So,
Yeah, man. I mean, I hadn't really heard much on it, but now we talking about on the show. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I think like I definitely think yeah, it was inappropriate for him to say that.
mm-hmm,
Maybe this guy, he's known to be a jokester. That's what I
mm-hmm,
think. I don't think it's the first time that he just
mm-hmm.
said something and
Right,
everybody kind of just
right.
giggled, but it wasn't, just to the point that everybody kind of just that's old Joe telling a joke right after
Mm-hmm,
something, and everybody get a little chuckle when they seem that is funny. But
mm-hmm,
he tried to throw that joke in like he probably normally does, and just
mm-hmm.
it was inappropriate. That's what I think, Brad. I don't think I think it was something he's always probably been doing.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just something he just started just making
right,
jokes.
right, right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and and, and Hobie, you are 100% correct. For somebody to really not hear him, and for me to where I'm used to listening to him, you made the perfect assessment. This is something that he's always done because he's been doing it for 50 years. It's something he's all or 40 years, whatever, but he's always made this kind of banter. But the difference is time changed and he did.
Yeah. Yeah, because sounds like to me, Joe. Yeah, he's the band. What you said is an announcer or
Yeah,
the
it's band announcer. Yeah, he's the band
yeah
official band
a
announcer.
band announcer, and
Mhm.
for him to been doing it, he's been doing it this long.
Yeah,
I definitely know he said some jokes. I just think he's
yeah,
probably probably some people look at he's the band announcer, but he's kind of comedy guy too.
yeah. Right,
Like he's like a mix of comedy. But
right.
it's not it's just humor.
Yeah,
Everybody just have a sense of humor.
yeah.
And um so yeah, that's what I think, man.
Uh,
I think Joe was just, being Joe.
Joe
And
Banjo, man.
you know what I'm saying? And
Joe Banjo.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
because maybe who's to say, maybe he said some jokes before this one that was probably inappropriate, but
yeah,
nobody
right.
really just, hit his hand with a ruler. Like, hey Joe,
Yeah,
cool out on the inappropriate jokes. They
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
just charge it to the game and just like, oh man, and
Right,
Joe,
right.
there go Joe with them bad jokes again.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody really, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think nobody.
Ain't no, yeah,
I,
because ain't no, yeah, and he's not the only one who does it, but usually he has a lot of tact when he says something. He says it with some tact. It's kind of like a kind of an edgy comedy show on network television,
but that's what I'm
like that.
saying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He seen, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Joe have said something about girls who probably wouldn't, plus
yeah,
size, and it
yeah.
wasn't the best thing to Joe say. Like, oh, look at them, what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of his jokes work, and some of them are very, very edgy. And
Right.
this, and this one crossed the line. Okay, this one crossed the line. You grown ass man. You got to kind of know. It's not like a student did. If it was a student, it doesn't make it right, but you understand it a little bit better. But it doesn't make it right. But
Yeah.
even students not know because the kids are different now, and so
But
the culture is different.
well, yeah, but
And
I'm just saying they know that's Joe. But I'm just saying, but I think, but it's unfortunate now. But I think somewhere along the way, if his on the edge jokes, finally everybody understand like, hey Joe,
yeah,
you need,
yeah.
it's time for a timeout on those jokes.
It's time for a timeout. And so he wrote an apology letter to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
honeybees and to the school and that, and that, his, that it was misguided and his humble apologies. He's very sorry and all that kind of stuff. And so he wrote a very nice apology letter. It was very professional. You could tell it came from him. But just in my opinion, you still got to be reprimanded for that. And
well, yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean,
I mean,
I agree
I
with
don't,
that.
yeah, I don't know if you lose your job for that, but you definitely got to be reprimanded for what you did. Just so you know. So we'll keep monitoring that, see what's going on in the band. But that's what's hot in the band world. Everything is hot in the band world. Also, like I say, marching band and football, but especially with HBCUs, man, it is it's the perfect marriage. You can't have one without the other.
Right.
So look, man, I'm gonna skip something and then go back to something. So just real quick while we're on entertainment news, Bad Bunny. I don't know if you heard of him, Hover, but
Have
but
I?
I don't know if you heard this guy, but he's been selected to be the Super Bowl halftime performer. He's gonna do a 20 some minute set. And everybody is most people who like I say is loving it. I'm real good on it because he didn't come to the U.S. for his concert. Don't plan on coming to the U.S. at least for the next 3 years. So, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think that's a huge thing for the Super Bowl to have Bad Bunny there. He's on top of the world right now. He's number one. And I think it's a real good thing, man. It's gonna be a real big. I think you got some ignorant folk out there saying this, that, and the other. Oh, he's gonna do the whole thing in Spanish. I mean, yeah. what's it to you? Change the
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, there's
change.
no. Yeah. I think. Shout out to Jay Z, man. I think I know he leads the effort in
Yep,
getting the acts,
yep, yep,
and I think his timing is perfect with this, with what's going on, especially in the United States.
yep. Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
the kind of mix it up. I am a little surprised though. Bad Bunny is doing it simply because he didn't want to do any concerts here, but I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I mean, um, there's a hefty bag on that, so might as well just go ahead
Yeah,
and
the bag's gonna be hefty, man.
get the bag and get some exposure.
It's gonna be
So
so huge.
yeah, yeah. So I ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I guess for in this particular case, why not?
Yeah, yeah.
But what I was gonna say, yeah, man. I mean, as far as Bad Bunny, my household, I mean, my he my son loves him, my wife loves him, so that's reggaeton
Yep, yep, yep.
outside of salsa.
Yeah, man.
We definitely hear that around here. So,
Yes,
but
sir.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. We're excited
I mean,
to see him.
I mean, the song that he got excellent collabos with, everybody from Nicki Minaj to Drake to,
Yeah, yeah,
some everybody, man. So he on top of the world, man. He on top. Snoop
yeah,
Dogg, he
man.
on top.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's gonna perform. Yeah, it's gonna be in his native language. I
Yep.
mean, and I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna put on a good show.
Me too. I think it's gonna be
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, man. Like I said, great, good. Shout out to him, man.
Excellent, man. So shifting gears, we do have baseball news. We do have baseball news, and so just heard about it today that uh, Brian Snitker, the Braves manager, is going to step away. I think that it was a mutual thing, in my opinion, but he's going to step away, and he's going to have an advisor position within
Hmm.
the Braves brass, and they're
Hmm.
going to put him in the Braves Hall of Fame during the season next year. Not really surprised by this at all, Hover, because we've been kind of hearing the rumblings, especially with the Braves missing the postseason and just very disappointing last season.
Hmm.
And I just thought that while it's hot, I think they wanted to kind of make a change, and I thought it was probably mutual
Hmm.
that they make this change. He's been with the organization. Brian Snick has been here for about 50 years in terms of player and everything and all of his involvement. He's been the Braves manager for I think 9 years. 6 of those years, he's been very successful with postseason and division wins and all that kind of stuff. And plus, in 2021, obviously he won the World Series in
Hmm.
2021. And if I wanted to sum it up, and I know a lot of people about, what do you think about his legacy? I think that he's done more with less. And in contrast to, don't beat me up, but I've heard it today to where Bobby Cox has done less with more.
Yeah.
Uh, so, so I don't think that it probably because of Snitker's team because he spent a lot of time in the minor leagues managing also a
Hmm.
lot of time. He spent the majority of his time in the minor league.
Hmm.
Uh, and he's been within all parts of the organization. He's been manager. He's been third base. He's been different things. Just shout out to Brian Snitker. Wishing him a very fruitful retirement as he move on, and thanks for all the work that he's done. And give him his flowers, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think he's definitely in my book a Hall of Famer. As far he should
Definitely,
go in the Hall of Fame.
definitely.
Um, you know, like you said, I mean, with being with the Braves, as long as he's, I mean, decades. But he's, all I gotta say about him, man, he's a class act. I'm not really too surprised that he finally go ahead and step on the side and let somebody else
Yeah,
come in and recharge the Braves organization. And
yeah,
you know, I mean, all I gotta say, man, is like you said, let's give him his flowers while he's here. And I'm very appreciative what he's done.
yeah,
He got us a World Series.
yes, yeah,
And you hate to, you hate to see him, leave, but at the same time, and we talked about this in any sport. You know when it's time. You know when you're time. You know when you don't have the drive or I always say when you just you're full. I'm at the
yeah.
table and I don't want to eat anymore. That's when you know it's time to get up. It's time to get up from the table, right?
Time to get up.
It's time to get up. So,
Time to get up.
and I think, and that's what I feel like with Snooker, man. He's a full cat, and it's time to just enjoy, man. Enjoy his life with his
Yeah,
family, and and
yeah.
hey, keep it going. But yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah. And
definitely
so
yeah.
and yeah, yeah, and when we'll look to see who if the Braves are looking inside, I don't know who they're gonna be in the inside organization. But definitely if they look outside to see there are a lot of candidates out there. But you don't want this talent for the Braves. I think the Braves still got a very good core with Ronald Acuna Jr., which I still think he's one of the best, one of the top 5 players still in the majors. And you got other talent, Michael Harris Jr. and all the other guys that are part of the team. I just want Braves pitching to get better. We they spend some money on some pitching, then that'll be very enticing for a new manager coming in.
Yeah,
So
who
I
was
would
the who was the Braves coach at one time? What was his name? Freddie.
Gonzalez,
Yeah. Who
Freddie
knows?
Gonzalez. He's
You know.
Freddie. Well, yeah, Freddie's back. Freddie's there. He was they had I think he's a third base coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was the manager. He left. He went back to the minors. He came back to the Braves. He's third base coach again. So that's that. And Ron Washington, the Angels are not going to renew his contract, so he won't be going back to California. But I think he had bypass surgery or something like that.
Mm.
So the first thing Braves fans are going to say, well, whatever capacity, can Ron Washington come back to the Braves? And the selfish part of me wants Ron Washington to come back to the Braves, but the best thing for him to do is follow Snitker, retire, get healthy, enjoy the game from afar.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I would. I mean, if we went with somebody in the organization, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to Freddie to give him another try.
Yeah,
But but either someone younger, man. I really would like for them to go with a younger guy, honestly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Let's see where we go. All right, man. I'm gonna move it on. I'll save the other stuff for next week. College football, man. Let's talk real quick, man. Virginia they upset FSU. Oregon gets by Penn State, and Ole Miss won that tussle over LSU. And so I think that football, at least down south, is turned upside down. So go on, bring Lou in. We football from all the way through. Bring Lou on in, Hope.
All right. Hello.
Lou,
Evening, fellas. Like I said, 9:30. Be here. I'm here.
yay, we got you, man.
Man,
Appreciate you, Lou.
man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for,
I mean, it's a busy
coming
it's a
on.
busy night because my other networks
Yeah,
were joining you tonight. So
Mm.
yeah. We
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that the Yankees pulling
right.
out, so they pull up to a tie
Yeah.
with Boston. So you're still in it
Yeah.
for the time being. So
Well, you've heard me do this before on the show, so I got to do it one more time. This is for you
yeah.
Red Sox fans out there. Ready? Da-da-da-da. You suck. You suck. Da-da-da-da. You suck. You suck. Okay.
We give you that, Lou. We give you
Yeah.
that.
We
Give
got
So
you
him.
that.
let's get to talking some football. So I just talked about that
Yeah.
stuff, and that wasn't in my pick with Virginia. Now I knew Virginia got a nice quarterback, pretty scrappy team, but I didn't think they were gonna come away with that win over Florida State on Friday
Neither did I.
night. God, yeah, I didn't see that coming, man. So
Just when you thought Florida State was making progress after a disastrous 2-10 year last season, and thought, hey, we're unstoppable. We're going to make a run at the conference championship.
right,
Well, now you hit a roadblock.
yes. So I didn't see that.
Virginia's not a slouch team though either. Virginia's a very respectable team,
Yeah, they only
so
got one
that
loss.
could go either way. And they're close conference rivals too. So
Yeah,
even if Florida State would have won, I wouldn't think it was going to be a blowout by any means.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What you got on that,
Yeah,
Hope?
Yeah, I agree, man. I didn't see
I
that one coming. I felt like I felt like Florida State was going to come back and win it.
Yeah.
Virginia, of course, they had the home field event playing at home,
Mm-hmm.
but give credit due to Virginia, man, for
Yeah.
taking care of business and
Will do, man.
pulling it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Tick better watch out. Tick
yeah,
just did get past Wake Forest.
yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of like every weekend, you got to put your best foot forward, or
Yeah.
you're gonna
on
lose.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think that's where football is, because I think I mean I think we had one or two upsets or at least one upset in the pros too. But I think I don't know that maybe now we getting more parity in college or what's going on in college, man. But I think that with LSU going down to Ole Miss, Ole Miss is a good team too. They're no slouch. Lane Kiffin, if he didn't mess up against Florida last year, they probably would have made it into the playoffs. And who knows how far they would have gone.
Yeah.
So Ole Miss is back, and we thought LSU was ready. But Lane Kiffin had one or two tricks up his sleeve. And Ole Miss may find themselves in the SEC championship. Because we know who will not be in the SEC championship, but we're not there yet. So going back to Oregon and Penn State, it was kind of boring at the beginning. What's your guys' take on that Penn State Oregon? What you got on that, Lou? You got a chance to watch that game?
You mean Penn State, Oregon? Well,
Yeah.
lackluster started first, but it picked up after that. And I was not really surprised by Oregon's performance being Penn State. Oregon's a tough team, and this was like Penn State's real first test. To see if they're worthy of making it to take the top spot, make a run for the playoffs. But Oregon had all the offense up there, and Penn State just couldn't match it. So I kind of had a feeling that Oregon was going to win this game. I didn't think Penn State had much of a chance. That Oregon offense is strong. So
yeah. And
I had to go against Penn State. I didn't want to. But I had to.
But then you got to ask about Coach Franklin again. Coach Franklin can't win the big one. He plays against big teams, and when you put him on that big stage, he's gonna lose every one of those games. So can Penn State really get to the mountaintop with Franklin or not? Hope.
And I think I've talked about this before on the show. The problem with Penn is two things with Penn State: the coach and the quarterback.
That's the whole season.
I don't mean. I'm just the coach and that quarterback.
Right.
Seriously, because I agree with both you and Lou. That game, it really wasn't a whole lot going on in the beginning. It seemed to be just defense trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then eventually along the way, Oregon got their rhythm, and that pretty much got it going. I think and then Penn State trying to, but I just my thing is Penn State is Penn State. They're just that quarterback. Like I told you, Brad, he showed me. I've been seeing him even last year. He's shaky, man, and and then on the other side of that, Penn State coach, he's question mark. I just don't see it. That combination, man. I just don't. I think you're gonna get what you always get. Yeah, the cupcakes. Yeah. But when it's time to step to the to the big games, it's gonna be bump bump a bump. So
You have to add that,
that was
yeah.
So man, that's what I get from that. I'm not surprised. Penn State.
Not surprised again. So with that being said, man, the elephant in the room. No pun intended. Alabama thumped Georgia 24-21.
Yeah.
They thumped up on Georgia. I picked Alabama last week, picked them by 3, and they came through and won by 3. Not that I wanted them to win, obviously. I didn't want them to win. Now that's not where I'm coming from, but I'm not seeing what I need to see from Georgia to beat a team like Alabama. I don't care who they coach. I don't care who the quarterback is. It really doesn't matter. Georgia's not doing the right things on their end. You don't have that 2021 team, obviously. You don't have a great team there. Your defense is young, but if you keep them, they should be okay in about a year or two. Offensively, Bobo is Bobo. He doesn't beat his MO. He does not beat Alabama. He doesn't do it. Kirby neither. But You put both of them together, it gets worse. So, so it's like I don't care what Georgia does, Georgia's gonna find a way to lose it. It's like this: Alabama owns Georgia the way Georgia owns Tennessee. I don't care what Tennessee does, they're gonna find a way to lose to Georgia. They're gonna find a way to lose. Don't worry about it. I don't care how close it is. They're gonna find a way. Georgia does the same thing with Alabama. Usually there's always a team in the SEC that's got your number. Alabama is that team for Georgia. Just like I said last year, the Bubba Yaga, they're definitely the Bubba Yaga for Alabama. Alabama's definitely that boogeyman for Georgia. And Georgia has not been able to conquer that boogeyman. But I mean, you can say a play here and a play there, drop touchdown pass. It's always something. Every year it's gonna be something. You know, it's another slow start. And you stop them from scoring. Look, these guys scored 24 points. They scored 14 points in the first half, and that little touchdown in the third quarter. I'm sorry. They scored 24 points in one half. They scored 7 points in the first quarter, 17 points in the second quarter, and 0 for the third and fourth quarter. Defense, Kirby can still make defensive. He's always made the defensive adjustments in the second half. He blanked them. But the strategy in terms of the offense for Alabama, jump on them quick and hold on for dear life. That's the key. Strike them early because they won't be ready. And Georgia never ready when you strike them early. They're going to get down 10-7, whatever the score is, and they're going to have to fight their way back. And the thing about it is, like, look, our defense ain't great, but we good enough to kind of slow y'all down. So Georgia scored 7 points. We 0 points in the second half, but offense produced 7 points in the second half. 7 points. 7 points, man. And so that's just what it is. That's where I am. We play Alabama next year. I'm gonna be saying the same thing. Alabama wins again by 2, 3, whatever. I don't know.
Man, it's real. The way I look at that game, and I talked about it on the show last week. It's gonna come down to who can play who can play the best mistake-free football. That means turnovers, right? Who wins the turnover battle?
Yep.
Alabama won that. So,
but it was crucial. It wasn't just any turnover, homie.
No. But I'm just saying, yeah, you're right. It wasn't it, but I'm just saying, Brad. That's I'm saying. You to win, this. Your chances, the percentages work best for you to win if you don't have any turnovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the average, if you play good defense.
Yeah.
But if you got turnover, regardless of more chances of the percentages go down that you might end up losing, and that's pretty much what happened. I just don't think outside of not executing well either, because there was some bonehead penalties. You had where I think it was 4th and 1. You had one guy coming in jumping on the pile. Things. So all I'm saying, you had undisciplined. You had undisciplined, and that's. I'm just speaking. I'm just calling out a few things that I saw, but either way, we still was in the game because of the fact the defense, like you said, in the second half, we hold them not to get any points.
Yeah.
So we just didn't execute when we needed to. And I really do think when it was 24-21 and we went for it and Cash Jones didn't get it, I understand. I understand what Kirby wanted to do. He wanted to go for the win. I get it.
Yeah.
I just wish he had to just say, you know what, let's just tie this damn thing up and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I wish he had tied it up, but hey, we probably would have still lost, but at least I wish he had just took the point. I wish he had just went and took the point.
Right. Nobody, we wouldn't be talking about it whether he made it. Look, you go for the 3 points and you tied up. Nobody's talking about it whether you win or lose the game. Nobody's talking about us tying the ball game up. No. That would give you 10 points. Yeah, nobody was. Yeah, and so whatever happens, you give your team a chance to win the game. You take the points against Alabama. It's Alabama. So you take the points. It don't matter whether you're at home or in somebody's backyard or anywhere. It's Alabama. This is your boogeyman. You take the points. And so
Yeah,
it is what it is, guys. But I will say Georgia did a great job running the ball. We got 227 yards on the ground against Alabama.
you never count out Alabama, especially against Georgia.
Say that again, Lou.
You never count Alabama, especially against their top rival Georgia, because you know there's
Yeah.
still gonna be a dogfight.
Oh,
It's
absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I
it,
agree.
it, yeah, it's a tough game. It's tough. But I'm going Alabama every time. I mean, Georgia's just not doing anything unless they something. Georgia has to have a great team and play great to beat Alabama. Alabama don't have to.
No.
So if Georgia is pretty good, Alabama's pretty good, Alabama's gonna win that game 9 times out of 10. If Alabama's pretty good and Georgia's great, I think Georgia got a good chance of winning that game.
Yeah.
We got
No,
we got
Yeah.
130 yards, 130 yards in the air, Hov.
but
130. Come
one
on.
thing I was happy that we didn't let Ryan Williams get off like he
No,
like
no,
he
he
did
didn't.
last year.
Right, right, right,
So I thought
right.
that was good. The only thing I wish the defense we had to do early on, I wish we had a blitzed a little bit more up the middle because it looks
Yep,
like from what I saw, the Alabama quarterback was taking advantage of
yeah,
that lane, that slant they kept running. They
yep,
went from right to left, but it was just running a slant across
yep.
because nobody was impacting up the middle. So he had a
Nobody.
clear view. He had a clear view. I mean, when I look at the camera, they shut the camera. I'm like, damn, he got a clear view to just throw it
Yeah,
right there, and it
and,
was on the money every time.
yeah,
So
yeah. And so was it really a scheme thing for Georgia, or they just ain't got them dogs yet, or are they still puppies and they need to mature?
oh man, I think I mean, well, if you look at it, it's because in the second half they made the right adjustment that he wasn't getting away with that. I just think they didn't make the right. It was a scheme situation in the beginning.
Yeah,
That's what I think. I wish
yeah,
I think if they had have done what they did in the second half, I'm pretty sure we probably would have won. but
yeah. I mean,
because it just and I said it on the show. I said one thing we need to do is we need to get to Alabama quarterback early, make him
yeah,
feel it so he don't get too
right,
comfortable back there with what they got going on, and we
yeah.
didn't do that.
No, no, we didn't get back there at all. They killed us with time of possession. It was just really bad, man.
I wouldn't, you know what? I would not have been mad. I would not have been mad if we did early and we didn't do it in the first half. I wouldn't have been mad if Georgia said, you know what? Let's just throw the kitchen sink at the dude on the first play. At
Yeah,
least you're trying to rally him up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because he's not going to be expecting that. Give him
no,
something different to look at. But they they
yeah,
they they
yeah,
they kind of played the way I looked at the defense in the beginning was kind of bend don't break, right?
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what, that Chauncey Bowens is a man. That Chauncey Bowens is a grown ass man for Georgia.
Yes, he is.
He should have. He should have been. Where was he? Alabama had. They were bouncing off. How often do you see Alabama bouncing off running backs like that?
Yeah,
Jeez, where
yeah.
he been?
Yeah, man. He was. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, he. Yeah, he was something to deal with. He was a load.
He was a problem. So I think that Nate Frazier's gonna have to climb himself out of the doghouse. We've seen that from Nate Frazier before. He's a feisty runner. Got some speed to him. He can break away if you let him, but he does not protect that pill, man. He does not protect that pill.
Yeah, man. I think. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. I think. Yeah, they got to really evaluate Nate, man. I mean, yeah, Nate brings a
Yeah.
lot to the table. I think they may need to change that death order.
Yep.
Then, in my
Yep.
opinion,
Yep.
um, I would prefer them to maybe use Cash Jones more as a scat back.
Yeah.
Um, you
Something.
know, just try something different because yeah, Nate. Nate going between the tackles. You're right. I mean, he runs hard, but until he can build that confidence
Yeah,
to where he's not, like you said, he's not losing the ball. I just right now, I'm like you, man. I don't know how much confidence I have with Nate running between the tackles.
yeah.
That
I
just, that
really
just,
don't.
that just my, that's just what I say. I mean,
Yeah, and I think that Gunnar Stockton had a even though he only had 130 yards, I still thought he was efficient. But when you're running the ball, you're not going to have that many attempts, which is fine by me, because that's not what Georgia usually does. But he had about 20 attempts, But I think that if we had caught that ball, if old buddy had caught that ball that was perfectly placed, that was a touchdown. And that's probably another, what is it, 60 yard or something, 50, 60 yard, whatever it was. And that would have given you a nice little 200 yards or close to it. You know, the stats would have looked better for him. And the 130 doesn't look good for him, but I thought that he was a very efficient quarterback.
yeah,
Fairly efficient
man. I mean, I agree with you, man. That's why I said, it all goes back to when you
in
really
the
look
game.
back, when you look at that game, it was just missed opportunities,
Yeah.
and you know, if we could have capitalized on some of those missed opportunities, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they probably would have edged it out, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, and that, but and like I said, it's just too much of that area. We see it every year. We had lost opportunities last year, lost opportunity before, and so it's just we keep singing the same song when we play Alabama. It's like, when does it change to where it doesn't matter and to where we got? And I'm just saying, Gunnar Stockton's fine, but if you got like a dynamic quarterback back there, man, or somebody that's really stronger than Gunnar Stockton back there in that position, a game changer back there, then okay, that gives Georgia an X factor. You need that kind of player back there along with your nice little running back change of pace, which I think we have. Then I think that makes a difference. Now Georgia's got to climb out of hole with just that one loss and that one win we have. Georgia's in seventh place in the SEC.
Oh,
They're in 12th. Yes, they are seventh place, and they are in number 12 in the AP. So Georgia already backers against the wall, but that ain't the first time. I mean, just what
it's
Georgia does. Georgia's just back to the wall, and they peel off 8 straight or something. I don't know. But they have a way of just sometimes being lucky and also winning the games you need to win too, and it kind of works out in the end. But you really didn't set yourself up for success, by losing last week. But look, guys, you knew Georgia was gonna lose a game or two this year. Okay. And them games that stick out is the Alabama game and the Ole Miss game. Okay, this the SEC. People gonna lose games. Alabama got a loss, but it's non-conference. That's the difference. So speaking of which, Alabama plays Vanderbilt. So they got a revenge victory because Vanderbilt beat them convincingly. Georgia didn't, but Vanderbilt did. So Vanderbilt's got something that Alabama has a tough
fought.
time handling, which is the quarterback. I'm trying to tell y'all, when these quarterbacks, man, Georgia can't get these quarterbacks right. I'm telling you. So so these quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, man, Georgia got problems. So that's what's going on. I think Alabama shouldn't have I think it'll be a good game, but Alabama should pull this one out against Vanderbilt. And that was going to
Yeah,
be
wait a second. I don't know. This is not the same Vanderbilt that we once knew, I think Vanderbilt
yeah,
have a chance. I don't know
no,
if they're
no,
going to
better.
be or not, but Vanderbilt has a chance.
Yeah, they got a chance. Now, I'm not saying they don't have a chance. They got a very good chance of getting back-to-back wins on Alabama, which is something we've never seen before. But it's possible. But I think it'll be a close game. I'm just going with Alabama. Just they're playing at home. That's the only reason. And but I don't know it. I mean, so who you? Let's go on with it. Who you got in that matchup, Lou Vanderbilt or Bama?
You know, um, I'm going to say Vandy.
All right, I ain't even. I'm not mad at it. Who you got in that one, Hope?
Yeah, I'm going with Lou, man. I like Vandy in this. I think this is a trap game. I think after Alabama having the big win over Georgia and then going home. I just I noticed kind of maybe they look at what happened last year, but like Lou said, I mean this is a different Vandy team, man, and
It is. I
they're
agree.
actually and from what I haven't seen a lot of their game, but from what I've heard now on ESPN and the other commentators, this is actually a better team than they had last year. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
uh,
look at how. They've been clobbering teams so far, man. I've been winning by double digits every game they played.
yeah, this team is playing. This team is playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
They're scrappy, and I tell you, and then that quarterback, that Vandy quarterback, man, he's a handful.
He is. He is, man.
That guy's a dual threat. So
Yep.
they're gonna have their hands full with him, no doubt about that. I I'm gonna go with the upset, man. I think it's a trap game for Bama. I'm going with Vandy.
Yep. I'm going
Yeah.
with Bama in this one, but I'm not taking the line. The line is Alabama by 10.5.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah.
The
forget
over
that.
under.
No
Yeah, the
way.
I think it's gonna be a
over
little
under.
closer than that.
Yeah, I probably take Bama by. I take Bama by 2 in this one, 2.5 on this one. Yeah, I take
um,
Bama by 2.5 on this
I
one.
think I'm gonna go with Vandy by 3, and I
Yeah,
tip winning by a field goal.
yeah, that sounds about right. And so that sounds about right. So, the next big game is Miami versus Florida State. Who you guys got in that one?
Hmm.
Mm, I'm gonna go with Florida State, man. I think
Let's
after
go
losing,
Miami.
all right,
Mm,
yeah, I think with Florida State, that big loss against West Virginia, they're gonna, they're gonna come in this game with some they're gonna have to get that loss off their back. Miami, and we talked about this, Brad.
mm.
I'm just Carson Beck, man. I like again. I think he does what he does,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know. After that last game I saw, it made me just think about when he was with UGA.
yeah, yeah. Uh, this is a tough one for me, but if Miami really ain't.
Let me ask you this:
Mhm.
Is Miami back? Are they for real this year? Do you?
No, they're not. If they
Okay,
talking about that,
yeah.
no,
No.
no, no, no. They're not. I've seen better teams. I think Oregon is much better. I think definitely Ohio State. I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I think they're gonna be back to back champions. Unfortunately, so I got a number of teams ahead of Miami. They're a good team, but they're not bad. Mm-mm. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna take the line. The line is Miami by 4.5. I'll take that. I'll
Yeah,
take
and
that. I'll take that.
I think the home field advantage gonna play a big part of this game with them
Yeah, well,
playing Florida
that's why.
State.
Hey, that's why it ain't 7.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think Florida
That's why it
State
ain't 7.
is
Yeah,
gonna play a big part.
yeah, they're playing in Tallahassee. So, I mean, if Florida State wins, I won't be surprised. So I'm just not a believer in Miami. Neither one of these teams are championship teams to me. But another big game is Texas and Florida. Um, Florida's going through
Texas.
something. They're going through it. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think Texas is gonna cruise through this one, man. I still think that he's gonna have a tough time with this defense, man. They still got talent on that defense in Florida. And they gonna give him hell early. But I think Texas gonna find a way to get past Florida in this one, man. They're just not a well coached team, and they don't have a quarterback. I mean, it's not that Texas got one either, but I mean, but I
This
think
game. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's gonna be close. Florida just right now, like you said, I think if you had to take out of the two quarterbacks, who's the worst? Definitely, Florida quarterback is.
I don't even know if
Uh,
Lagway's gonna start.
well, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not starting. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't. From what I saw, he it does. It seemed like he. I don't know if it just he has a hard time reading defenses or what, man. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
really sure. Maybe that could be. I don't. Or he just not confident in knowing which where to go with the ball. But he
Yeah.
just won't. He won't pass, and then when he does pass, it's not accurate. It's just all over the place. So I
Yeah.
just don't. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's not starting. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing about it is that he really don't have anybody behind it.
Well,
That's the
that
that's
but
the
that
sad
and that's
that's
a
the
big
sad
and that's a
that's
bigger problem. So that's why I got to
Mhm.
go with Texas.
yeah. You got to go with
Yeah.
Texas in this one, man. So Georgia plays Kentucky um, at noon. This game, I think this game is in Athens. Hope.
Hmm.
Yeah, this game's in Athens. Noon game. You know, you know how noon games are in Athens, man. Everybody hates them. So everybody hates noon games, man. In Athens, we just hate them, and they just get weird. So even though Kentucky is not a great team, we're gonna see their best effort against Georgia at 12 noon. That's what I think. Lou, I'm gonna hand it over to you before I let you guys know where I stand on it. Lou, what you think about this matchup? Kentucky against Georgia in Georgia.
If it was basketball, I'd take Kentucky, but since it's football, I'm taking Georgia.
Yeah, who you got in this one, Ho? I mean, I know who you got, but what's your thoughts in this
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a bounce back game for Georgia. After losing against Alabama. Nothing against Kentucky. Um, I don't see Georgia losing back to back games. I think they're gonna be ready to go, and yeah, I mean home field advantage.
one?
I
Yeah,
don't see it no other way, man. It's been a long time they lost back to back games.
yeah, yeah. So Georgia's definitely not gonna. I don't understand why people be giving Georgia these big spreads. Because we never beat the spread. But I think Georgia has to come back late to win this game by, I don't know. I think Georgia gets this by 5. I don't know. I don't think it'll be a big win for Georgia. I'm thinking a big spread, in my opinion. I don't think it gets past 7 points on this one. I mean, I think Kentucky's going to run out of gas late. But I think early on, Kentucky going to. Yeah, I think Kentucky going to take it to Georgia. I think that the blueprints out. If you got weapons to put the ball in the air, you go against Georgia in the air early and often, and then hold on for dear life in the second half. That's the key to beating Georgia
Hmm.
early and often, and that's why Georgia's gonna lose to Ole Miss. But we're not there yet. We get back to that later. We get back there. We gonna get back to that later. I think Kiffin's got Georgia's number 2.
Mhm.
So let's talk football. Pro football. We got to move forward. We got to move forward real quick. Tyreek Hill's out, guys, for the season. Did you see that game, Lou?
It,
Did you see it?
Which game?
With the Dolphins, and who the Dolphins play?
Jets.
The
Monday,
Jets.
the Jets.
I
And
saw it.
yeah, you see, Tyreek Hill had an ugly injury, man.
Yeah, he did. I know. It was scary.
God, man, I couldn't. I mean, when I saw it, I saw it once. I didn't want to see it again, and then it would come up on my Facebook page, man. I'd be like, nah, I don't want to see this ever again. But that was, I mean, the Jets. I mean, the Jets had their chances. I would say, Lou, to kind of win that game, man. But it's just, I don't know, man. He just ain't quite got it together yet, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. You saw that game, Hope?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did actually look at that one. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is unfortunate. Um, but I mean, man, it just you just hate to see that happen. But the Jets, I mean, like I said, man, I feel like the Jets, they're they're not a bad team. I just don't think that. I think the defense is ahead of the offense.
Yeah.
And then when the offense finally get a rhythm, Justin Fields is one of the. He kind of reminds me, you're gonna laugh at this, but I think him and Caleb Williams, they're kind of one and the same.
Yeah, they are. No. I
It's
ain't thought about
no,
that.
I only reason I'm laughing because the Bears they got rid of Justin Field, and then they get another guy who's similar to who left. So
Yeah,
um, they kind of one and the same.
one in the same.
You'll get a running touchdown from them, and then sometimes you may get two running touchdowns from these guys,
Yeah,
and then you throw a touchdown in there from a wide receiver, maybe a tight end.
yeah,
You may get that, but more likely you're gonna probably get a running touchdown first
yeah.
before you. But anyway, uh,
I get
um,
it. I get it.
you get where I'm going with it.
Yep. So the Chiefs are over the Ravens. Ravens 1-3. Who saw that coming? Lamar Jackson, man, with a hammy, man. Oh wow. Uh, I don't. What's going on with the Ravens, man? I mean, I think it's the defense that just can't get it right. Um, because when they played Buffalo, I mean, man, that game. I mean, offense did. What more can you ask for the offense? I mean, yeah, that late fumble, but still,
Mhm.
uh, that should have been a win for the Ravens over the Bills and some other ones. And
Yeah.
so, you look at this thing against the Chiefs, and they lose that game. Another one to the Chiefs. What's going on in Baltimore, Lou?
Yeah, so I'll let you know. I mean, this is not the Ravens that we're used to seeing, and Lamar Jackson isn't being the quarterback that he's
Mm,
supposed to be. So I'm really they're a big disappointment this year.
yeah, and you know, Henry's been the bell cow, but he's had key fumbles, man. That's just been head scratchers. What you think about that stuff, man?
Yeah, man. I think the Ravens. I can't really figure them out. This is not typical what you find with the Ravens, especially with the defense. They usually you pretty much can hang your hat on their defense play,
Hmm.
but it doesn't look like you can do that right right
Yeah,
now. Right now, and as far as the offense, like Lou said, Lamar just not having the best. I think. Well, I take that back. I think he's playing. What he does as far as helping the team. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure whether that first that first game they had, they just kind of in a rut to where they trying to get out of what
yeah,
happened. Because that was a who would have thought they would have lost that game.
yeah, yeah,
And I mean it was
yeah,
pretty much a done. I felt like it was a done deal,
yeah.
and for somebody to come back on top of you like that and win, um, sometimes it just it changes the whole dynamic of the team, man.
Really does.
Um, when you lose a game like that, now you feel like you're always looking over your shoulder and you're wondering like, oh, is this gonna happen again? So,
Yeah, you don't have any. Yeah, you don't have any answers.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So I feel like they're kind of in a funk,
yeah,
and I think it goes back to the first game of the season.
yeah.
Sometimes, especially in that particular, when you, like I said, when you lose a game like that one.
But and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but to me, I think that with the league changes and adding an additional game, and then you got a shorter time of preparation with this preseason stuff. To me, it seems like none of the teams, or I don't say none of them, but very few teams are actually ready to go that game one, and everybody kind
Yeah.
of like more their way through it. And so it seems like the first four games, the first quarter of the season, that's kind of like a preseason for a lot of teams in the NFL where they're still kind of working out the kinks in terms of what they're going to be. And so, other than the, the Bills and the Eagles, those kind of things, they know who they are. The Bills, the Eagles, and even the Rams right now, who are just lights out. But it's like everybody else is like trying to get it going. And which go ahead, Hope.
Yeah, I think that's a good valid point. I do think that the first maybe the first three games of the season is teams is trying to they're just trying to gel and trying to get it going, where
Yeah,
they can consistently win.
right.
And when you start out 0-3 or
Yeah.
or whatever, you hadn't got a win yet,
Hmm.
then but you've been close, so you're just trying to get that one win to at least have something to build on,
Yeah.
so you can be consistent. And
Yeah.
I think you're right. And even like when you look at the Ravens, that's what it seems like to me is they came out. I mean, and they had the Bills and hell, they looked good in the game, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, things didn't go their way,
Yeah.
and so now it's kind of like going back to the drawing board and trying to figure out like where did we go wrong or what do we need to fix and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think when you throw all that in the mix, it just kind of I think sometimes it can be to the point where people or the coaches or even the players start overthinking things, and then you look at
Overthinking.
yeah, because you look at Derrick
Yeah.
Henry, and all of a sudden he's where's this fundulitis coming from? Well,
Yeah.
let's go back to the first game.
Yeah.
Now he's overthinking, and now he's running, and he's thinking, okay, I got to protect the ball. I got to, So, so that's all I'm saying, Brad. It just depends on how your season start out.
Yeah. So speaking of which, the Falcons and perfect example is the Falcons. Falcons are 2-2. And to me, I just don't think that during their preseason, all that stuff is about an evaluation of new guys that they're trying to keep or considering keeping. And then maybe the old heads get a chance to, run some rinse sprints, get the blood circulating until the game start. That's kind of the Falcons. And so you get into the season, you're 2-2, you're 500, and definitely a turnaround from your 30-0 loss from the Panthers, where you just totally sucked last week. And now your offense looks as though that they're in sync, look pretty good. That's what you expect out of the Falcons, to put these points like this on the board. Even though Washington's defense is kind of whatever, but still, with that, that's what you want to do against those types of defenses. And they seem to find their rhythm. You find Pitts, you'll find your rhythm in the passing game. I've been saying Pitts. That is the key. The guy's healthy, and quit making him run wind sprints and blocking for nothing. Give him the ball in the red zone. Give him the ball, period. And so if you find Pitts, you'll find your passing game. I thought the plays looked good. I thought that the coordination was moving the OC to the field was great. We had no more delay of games in terms of that miscommunication stuff. We got the plays started on time. Everybody was set. I mean, preseason stuff. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you make a good point, man. I think that was definitely. I mean, give credit to Raheem Morris on that one. He made the right call. He,
Absolutely.
he definitely made the right call to get his offense in order and getting that offensive coordinator on the field. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
That made a difference.
Yeah.
Then as far as the defense, man, I
Mm-hmm.
thought
Mm-hmm.
the defense, they did things. Some things were good, some things were not as
But
great.
bad. Right. Right.
But I guess the good thing on that is you got the win, and there's you got things on tape that you can get that turned around. So I'm not really
Yeah.
too. I can't beat up the defense that much.
No,
But
no, yeah, no, not at all. Because I
Yeah.
think your rookies look good. Watts got another interception. That's your rookie, Xavier Watts. You got some key plays from Jalen Walker. And so you got a lot of pressures from your other rookies. So I think the defense is, there's some good and bad there. There's some things, but I think it's because of a lot of young players, and also, you got your corner that's out.
yeah, but that's true. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, they got timely stops. They did enough for us
They did enough.
to
They
get
did
out of
enough.
that with a win. So that's all
Yeah.
you can ask for.
Yeah.
In that particular case. So
I
it
would
was a
I would like
it was a balanced win.
yeah, but I would like to see in terms of the good, bad, and ugly. We talked about the good and bad. I think that if there wasn't ugly, I would hope to see the special teams defense be a little bit better. I don't know what the hell's going on with the special teams with the Falcons. Everybody's averaging 30-yard returns on us. So that's not good when teams get the ball and starting with half a field. You got to make them work. You put the defense in a bad situation. So
Yeah.
I would like. I don't know what that is, Hope, but I would love to see that cleaned up.
Well, I agree with you. And then one other good point I like with the offense is we use Tyler, man. I was
Yeah.
saying that to get him, to get him more touches in the game.
Yes.
And that was good to see that. I really like,
Yes.
Bijan, he does his thing, but it was good to see that they use Tyler more.
Bijan was
And
killing him. Bijan
yeah,
and Tyler, both of them running
yeah,
backs.
but I think, but he had, I mean, I mean, like the offensive coordinator, he made a whole lot better decisions on play calling, um, getting
Mhm.
everybody involved, man. And that's what we
Yeah.
need. That's what you need. You got Pitts, you got Tyler, you got even had plays where you had both. So on the
Yeah.
field. So yeah, man. He did. He made it work, and hopefully more good things to come with that.
Agreed. Agreed, man. Just keep doing what we're doing. The trajectory looks good, but we have a bye week coming up. We're gonna need that bye week because we're gonna have the Bills on
Yeah.
prime time right after that. Jesus, man. So we'll talk about that next week. And but look, man, uh, two games, two picks, guys, and we got to go. The Cowboys and the Jets. So look, Lou, now the Cowboys just had a tie game, against the
Yeah.
Packers, which was
Who
40
saw
to
that
40.
coming? Yeah.
Man, I was laughing my
I
tail
just,
off on that game.
yeah. That I can. I mean, Green Bay should have went for the win anyway, but they chickened out and went for the field goal.
We want to field
Yeah,
goal.
the problem is, I think you need to go back to the way it used to be, sudden death. Or if you
Mm,
gotta do overtime, you gotta do one 15-minute period because I don't think 10 minutes is enough to get a winner. With getting a chance to score one possession, either you gotta do sudden death or you have to do up to 15 minutes to get that last score in, so it doesn't anti because 10 minutes I think is just too short.
yeah. So they ended it, and I looked up. I was so used to the game going. And, oh man, that's right. We don't have another overtime going. I guess not. Just keep the game going until somebody scores. It's like sudden deal. All right.
Yeah, but
Defense.
that be up all night.
Well, I'll be like, well, defense got it. Well, it goes back to the old school rules. First one, you flip the coin, and okay, defense got to stop them. If not, man, they win the game.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
flip that coin and shut up.
Two games, guys, and two pick'ems tonight. Only two. Cowboys and Jets. Lou, who you got in that one?
Cowboys.
Woo. Hova, who you got in that one?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Good luck.
Man,
Hey,
it
I don't know why. I just feel like that game was a flip the coin.
is.
Yeah.
It is, man. I don't know, man. It's a pick 'em to me, man. But geez, man, I don't know. I guess Jets. I don't know. I'm going Jets on that one. And the next game is I think this is going to be a real good one, man. The Bucks versus the Seahawks. Who you got in that one, Lou?
Seahawks. Seahawks.
Who you got in that one, Hope?
I'm going with the Seahawks in that one.
You hope the Seahawks win, or you think they go? The Bucks in the
Well,
right,
well,
debating around. So,
it's definitely going to be a good game. I think both play pretty good defense. But I really like to see. I think the Seahawks defense is they got some they got some headbangers on their
Yeah,
defense, and
they
Seahawks
do.
ain't playing, man. So I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the Bucks just have too many injuries, man. I just think they got too many injuries. Just too many. Every week somebody goes out on an injury. I just think they got too many. And just because of that, they're gonna be scrappy. I think the Seahawks are good. I think they're probably one of the better teams that nobody's talking about.
I agree.
Uh, you know, yeah, they I mean Walker's running that rock, man. But I think they're right where they need to be. So I'm going to see Hawks in that one. Bucks will be scrappy, but they're gonna lose it. All right. So hey, Luke, take us home, brother.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show continues on Saturday 4 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. It's going to be a busy weekend for sure. As we're going over the divisional round series of the playoffs, which will begin on Saturday. Possible. I think I'm going to do an early sort of predictions on the Heisman Trophy race because it's already starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, it is. We'll go through. Who do you think is the big disappointment in the NFL and the best surprise team in the NFL so far in the season? Getting ready for the NHL regular season. NBA preseason is getting in full gear, so have that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also have our schedule schedules for the month and the standings, of course. And recap the Ryder Cup. Although it wasn't much to be happy about, of course.
Not at all.
No.
So,
Of course, also your thoughts and comments. The ridiculous sign of the week, sports trivia, this Dayton sports history, and if I can find anything for the lighter sports of the week, I'll have that too. So remember, it's 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget, we're on Facebook Live, and don't forget to like and share the page as well.
awesome.
Good night.
Thanks a lot, Luke. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Lou.
Good night.
Want to thank everybody for joining the show tonight. Until next week, speak on it.
Speak on it.